Well, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our session is about to begin in 5 minutes. Thank you. Assalamualaikum and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 4th Academic Symposium on Science and Technology, ASST 2022. I am Dr. Anu Azila Cik Fauzi, your host for today. We will begin our ceremony with Lagu Negaraku and UiTM di Hatiku.
Hidup Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me first to read our agenda for today. The first agenda is the opening session, and second is parallel session led by our moderator. And now we are in the opening session. Attendance link will be provided in the chat box 30 minutes before the session end. Before we start today's event, I would like to invite Mr. Faiz for Doa recitation.
Saya kira jadi Pak Awak. Al-Fatihah. Alhamdulillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma inna khalaqul azim, innaka sami'ul alim, innaka ghafurur rahim, innaka rabbul arsyil azim, innaka al-barul jawadul karim. Allahumma ya karim ya rahim. Ya Allah ya Tuhan kami bersyukur dengan berkat rahmat dan inayah-Mu dapatlah kami berhimpun pada pagi ini dalam the 4th Academic Symposium on Science and Technology ASST 2022. Limpahkanlah taufik, hidayah dan petunjuk-Mu kepada kami. Semoga perhimpunan kami ini menjadi satu perhimpunan yang Kau redai dan rahmati. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Kami memohon dengan kudrat dan iradat-Mu, berikanlah kekuatan dan ketabahan dan kepada kami dalam menghadapi perjuangan menimba dan mencari ilmu pengetahuan. Anugerahkanlah kepada kami kejayaan dan kecemerlangan dalam semua ujian dan pencapaian yang kami hadapi. Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram. Kurniakanlah juga kepada kami kesihatan anggota, kecerdasan minda, ketenangan jiwa dan kekuatan semangat. Semoga dengannya kami mampu menghadapi cabaran, berdaya saing dan mampu mengangkat martabat diri, keluarga, masyarakat dan juga negara. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La yadurru ma'asbihi syai'un fil ardi wa la fis sama'i wa huwas samiul 'alim. Allahumma inni a'udzubika minal barasi wal junun wal juzami wa min sayyi'il asqam. Ya Rahman, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Lindungilah kami, keluarga kami, anak-anak kami, jiran tetangga kami dan keluarga negara kami dan seluruh dunia daripada wabak penyakit berjangkit yang melanda negara kami, Ya Allah. Semogalah mereka yang telah dijangkiti berikan kekuatan dan kesabaran kepada barisan hadapan kami telah bertungkus lumus berjuang merawat pesakit dan memerangi wabak ini, Ya Allah. Allahumma fir lana zulumana wa li ikhwanina allazina sabaquna bil iman. ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, Mr. Faiz, for the doa. First of all, I would like to extend our very warm welcome to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Datuk T.S. Dr. Hajar Roziah Muhammad Janur, the Dean of Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Sciences, Professor T.S. Dr. Haryani Harun, who is also our keynote speaker for today, Rector of University Technology Mara, Cawangan, Kelantan, Professor Dr. Haji Abdul Samad Benawi, our distinguished speakers, Associate Professor T.S. Dr. Nur Afiz Ahmad Razali, and of course all of our presenters and everyone who are here with us today. Before we continue to our main event, first of all, I would like to invite our Rector, Professor Dr. Haji Abdul Samad, for a welcoming speech. Please welcome Professor Dr. Haji Abdul Samad.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and good morning. Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Teknologis Dr. Hajar Roziah Muhammad Jano, Vice Chancellor of University Teknologi Mara. Yang berusaha Dr. Zuraini Ahmad Zulkarnain, Head of Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Sciences, FSKM, UITM, Kelantan Branch. Yang berusaha Dr. Muhammad Firdaus Mustafa, the Director of 4th Regional Academic Symposium of Science and Technology, ASST2022. The top management of UITM Kelantan Branch, distinguished speakers, guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is such a pleasure to welcome all of you to this 4th Regional ASST 2022. Thank you Allah for this blissful opportunity and to FSKM UITM Kelantan Branch for hosting this magnificent symposium. It is indeed encouraging to see the massive participations, and I would like to thank once again the host who has made this virtually organized symposium possible this year. I would like to congratulate the organizer too for running this symposium with a great line of speakers. Professor Technologist Dr. Haryani Harun, Dean of FSKM, UITM, and Associate Professor Technologist Dr. Nur Afiza Madrazali, Senior Lecturer of University Pertahanan Nasional Malaysia, UPNM, and Independent Non-Executive Director, MDEC Senior Berhad. Well done. This event has assembled around 100 staff, students, and participants all over the country to be at one place to continue building relationships, stimulating collaboration, and sharing recent research findings in the fields of mathematics, statistics, computer science, and big data. With this much awaited opportunity, no doubt that there will be a lot of interesting discoveries materialized. New method discovered, new approaches adopted, new knowledge ventured, all this for the benefit of everyone involved. There is so much to gain from mutual sharing and learning, dynamic discourse on various research findings, and constructive debate on which to agree or disagree. All those combine to create a landscape of priceless experience, a golden chance from which a researcher flourishes and transforms his or her research inside out. Ladies and gentlemen, as many researchers from the field of science and technology gather at the symposium, I can foresee the event as a productive networking platform that may eventually lead to strategic collaborations between participants. This is to establish optimized utilization of science and technology, which serve as the main purpose of this symposium, especially now that we are dealing with the rapid technological changes of the IR 4.0. Finally, once again, I would like to extend my heartiest congratulations to all the 4th Regional Academic Symposium on Science and Technology 2022 Organizing Committee, who have worked so hard to ensure the smooth run of the event. To all participants, thank you for your commitment and dedication to this symposium. It is expected that you will have a great time learning and sharing knowledge with everyone. With that, thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Haji Abdul Samad. Next, I would like to invite the Vice Chancellor of UiTM, Professor Datuk Technologist Dr. Hajah Roziah Muhammad Jano, for an officiating speech, followed by a special montage presentation of 4th ASST 2022. Please welcome Professor Datuk Technologist Dr. Hajah Roziah Muhammad Jano.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. Yang berbahagia Profesor Dr. Haji Abdul Samad bin Nawi, Rector of UiTM Kelantan Branch, Dr. Zuriani Ahmad Zulkarnain, Head of Center of Studies, Faculty of Computer Science and Mathematics, UiTM Kelantan Branch, Dr. Muhammad Firdaus Mustafa, Director of the 4th ASST 2022. Distinguished speakers, respected guests, ladies and gentlemen, Alhamdulillah, let's us express our deepest gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for allowing us to gather virtually today at the 4th Regional Academic Symposium of Science and Technology 2022. It is a pleasure for me to welcome everyone and thank you for joining us in today's symposium, regardless of where you are. Before that, let's congratulate the Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Sciences on their success in organizing the event this year. For 7 years now, the faculty has been organizing ASST once every 2 years to bring together and open the gate for resilient participants, mainly students, researchers, academia, and industries who have shown great interest in expanding research, encouraging knowledge exchange, and finding research opportunities. With over 100 participants involved, I believe this symposium will be yet another impetus to stimulate further research in the areas of mathematics, statistics, computer science, and big data. Unleashing the potential in intelligent data analysis, this year's themes indicate how we can extract potentially valuable information or knowledge from the vast amounts of data available online. This distinct area of intelligent data analysis and its related technologies has recently sparked interest due to its enormous impact. Massive amounts of data generated daily by users also contribute significantly to providing insights for better decision making. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are witnessing just how profound intelligent data analysis effect can have and how it played such a significant role in the previous era of the COVID-19 pandemic up to the current endemic phase. Many industries are now facing a multitude of changes from such data analysis. As we adapt to this new reality, we turn to technology and intelligent data analysis as a way out to help us make such adjustments. To ensure that UiTM is not left out, our researchers and academics can grab the opportunity and optimize these two fields to our advantage. I am confident this event will provide a platform for researchers and educators to share ideas on big data analytics, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, or IoT, machine learning, and other technological fields as part of our progressive university research agenda. We should utilize these tools to change how people think about integrating information, analyzing data, and generating useful information to improve decision making. Distinguished guests, championing impactful research fields such as science and technology could lead to new knowledge that enhances continuous lifelong learning, and this aspires us at UiTM while striving to be a globally renowned university by 2025. We are currently ranked 33 in the 2022 world's most technologically advanced countries, coming second among Southeast Asia countries after Singapore, Malaysia requires an active pursuit of research by utilizing convenient technology with great access to knowledge. Being the largest comprehensive university in Malaysia, with 34 campuses, 1 main campus, 12 state campuses, and 21 satellite campuses across the nation, technological advancement is indeed a solution and enable to further optimize our resources. With 17 faculties, 7 academic centers, and 2 College of Studies, there is a big possibility for UiTM to push further with the advancements of technologies. Hence, as one of the higher learning institutions with ongoing research initiatives, I hope that this symposium in some way could impact our policymakers, opinion leaders, and industry players by demonstrating how technologies change the world's society, economy, and governance. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to more engaging, lively discussion as well as debates on relevant and efficient knowledge and theories from the academics and the field experts themselves. Before I end, I would like to thank the organizing committee from the Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Science, UiTM Kelantan branch, for making this prestigious symposium a great success. To our speakers and participants, thank you for your utmost commitment by sharing and contributing your insights to all of us. On that note, and in the name of Almighty Allah, most beneficent, most merciful, I hereby officially open the 4th Regional Academic Symposium on Science and Technology, in short, ASST2022. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Dato Technologist Dr. Hajah Roziah Muhammad Janur for the officiating speech. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them in the chat box, or you can wait until the presentation is over. Then you can ask the speakers during the Q&A session. Now, before we turn the time over to our first speaker, let me introduce a little bit about her. Our first speaker for today is Professor Technologist Dr. Haryani Harun, who is also currently the Dean for the Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Sciences, University Technology Mara, UiTM. She has vast experience in education, having served in UiTM for more than 30 years. Her research areas are industrial informatics, online communities, and digital collaboration in service sectors. In line with the development of IR 4.0, Prof. Haryani is into studying the impact of emerging technologies on reshaping the education landscape. She is passionate on designing better experience and environment for students' learning process, leveraging on the emerging technology. She believes that digital transformation opens up vast opportunity for dynamic learning environments to enhance students' learning experience. So please welcome Professor Technologist Dr. Haryani Harun.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all the participants for the 4th Regional Academic Symposium on Science and Technology. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much to the organizer for having me here to share some of our experience in preparing graduates with big data analytics competency. And this is actually some knowledge sharing based on our experience producing talents in UITM for big data talents for the nation and also for the industry. And let me start with the introduction of how important it is to have all these big data talents. Now, Johnson in 2021 mentioned that 4.66 billion active internet users are from the worldwide, meaning that these are the source of data that contributes towards the whole big data ecosystem. Now, secondly, the amount of data being generated daily exceeds 2.5 quintillion bytes per day. And along with the age of big data, digital transformation also has had a significant impact on the contemporary higher education. When we say this, the impact is not on the running of the higher education, but on the challenges, on the pressure that the higher education have to produce the big data talents which can fit into the industry and also for the nation building. Now, these are the challenges that we can wrap up that I would like to discuss and would like all the participants together to think about this. Yeah, the mode of education is progressively moving from one-size-fits-all approach to precision education and individualized learning. Now, it modifies the institutional core value of education through big data and digital technology to better meet the requirements of the students. And also, the university as a talent provider for the nation must ensure the graduates have the competency needed. And this is a framework on the big data initiative that we look into in the context of UITM, nation, and also the faculty. And if we look into the big data initiative, we cannot doubt that industry demands, especially with the IR 4.0 coming in, now the industry demands for more and more talent for big data analytics. And the nation also, as what I'm going to show after this in the slide, have embarked on several initiatives that stress upon the importance of having big data talents to serve for the nation building. Now, looking into the context of UITM, UITM clearly embarks on learning analytics, and we are going to show some of the projects that we do in learning analytics, and also not forgetting, there is one initiative by UITM that we collect data to measure the happiness index of the staff. And coming back to our faculty, the Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Sciences, as one of the faculty that is championing big data analytics, we are really into talent analytics and curriculum and content enrichment as to ensure that the talent that we produce will have the competency of big data skills needed by the country. Now, as mentioned just now, this is the National Big Data Analytics Agenda. This is the National Big Data Framework from MDEC. And I think all the participants can refer to this portal and look into the National Big Data Framework more detail. But to recap this, what we see is that most of the ministry now have embarked on the agenda of big data analytics. Yeah, if we look into the Digital Government Lab, BDA, DGL, this is what the nation are pushing, the project that the country is looking at. But look into all the other ministry. All of them embark on the big data analytics agenda, so that we know that the talents that the university has to produce must be the talent which has the competency in order to support the national agenda of the government. And another slide just to share is also on the enabling technology to support the national big data agenda for the country. But one thing interesting here that I would like to highlight is that we look into the arrows here. Yeah, it's a little bit small, but if you look into the arrows, the whole table looks into the related activities and implementation of big data using artificial intelligence. The nice thing is that if you look into that two arrows, descriptive and diagnostic analysis are currently having the percentage of none. About 33.1% of the industry are not embarking on this initiative. And we know that descriptive and diagnostic analytics are one of the most important basic skill that data analysts should have. Also, the second one, I put the arrow there, is that on the predictive and prescriptive analytics. These are what we have, the ladder of big data analytics. We have the descriptive, we have the diagnostic, predictive, and also prescriptive. But amazingly, from the data collected in the industry, we found the industry has not yet embarked on these core areas of big data analytics. Not to say that the industry are left behind, but this is saying that the demand is much needed for the industry. And just to give us a picture of our job landscape in 2022, we are now in 2022. I know we are going for 2023, but nevertheless, I think this can help us to learn a little bit what are the job landscape in 2022. And if we look here, the top 10 emerging demand for the jobs are first, data analysts and scientists, and followed by AI, machine learning. And AI, machine learning, actually these are some of the support that a data scientist should be having. So meaning that with the industry demand, university has the challenge to really make sure our graduates can fit into the job demand as required by the country and also the world. Now, coming back to Industry 4.0, this is, everyone is talking about Industry 4.0, IR 4.0. So we would like to see where is big data analytics in Industry 4.0. As you know, the old world last time we started with Industry 1.0 and it evolved to 4.0. So actually, big data analytics start to make an impact between Industry 3.0 and also Industry 4.0. So this is the era that what we call as big data analytics. The previous era might not be involved in big data analytics, but somehow they have a little bit of analytics there. Yeah, analytics are there, but the concern now is that between Industry 3.0 and Industry 4.0, now this is where big data reigns, or where big data is placed. Okay, so I will bring all the participants to look into UITM Big Data Analytics Initiative. on talent development, because university has a role to produce the talent. Now, what has UiTM done, or what are their initiatives for talent development? And I think this is one of the most successful project done for UiTM, what we call the learning analytics based on descriptive analytics, where we come up with a dashboard for the students to locate the students on their location, where are they, because during the pandemic, as everyone knows, the students go back to their hometown, and it is quite difficult for the university to trace the whereabouts of the student. Not only that, when we decided that we are going to continue the education during the pandemic through online method, now, or also they say that on ODL method, we decided on ODL method because we found that from the data, not all our students are having the access for the internet, and therefore university has decided that we embark on ODL, open distance learning, rather than fully online learning. So I think this project really show that how big data analytics help in managing a university. And just to show the project outcome is a dashboard, where we have a dashboard to look into learning analytics based on descriptive analytics. We have the picture of Malaysia there, and we have all these bubbles to show the location of our students. And if you get to look into this dashboard, you'll find that, if you click on the bubble, you can see or you can identify the students, not only their name, but also the courses that they are currently following. Yeah, so this is some of the wondrous things that we do with big data analytics using prescriptive analysis. Yeah, and as mentioned to you on the initiative by the faculty also are very much into talent analytics. We do not want to waste the talent. We want to give the talent the very best, so that, as you know, as mentioned, I think several times from the beginning of the keynote, is that we are having a challenge to ensure that we are producing big data analytics graduates who are competent. Okay. First thing that we do is that we use talent analytics by looking into the placement of the student in the industry. As you know, the industry attachment is one of the compulsory module for the students, and from here, we want the student to be placed only to the appropriate industry or company which can give the student the exposure for their industrial training. Okay. And we have been doing this, I think, for quite some time now, I think more than 4 years now. Also, we track the students. Where are they? Yeah, the sectors that we put the students. And also from here, we can get the data on our graduate employability, especially for those students in computing and mathematical sciences. Okay. Now, having gave a picture of big data analytics and the usefulness of big data analytics that we cannot deny, the problem is that it is of concern for us as the educator is on how good is our curriculum and our content enrichment, either in our undergraduate programs, academic program, or postgraduate programs. What are we teaching them? Yeah, and how much practical-based training and the industrial linkages. Not only this, we should be looking also into when we come up with a big data ecosystem to support the teaching and learning for the undergraduate and postgraduate students. We have always this question to ask: can the ecosystem sustain? As you know, the ecosystem will cost quite huge amount of money. And where are the industry now? How far does the industry can collaborate with us to ensure the sustainability of this ecosystem? Also, if we look into the ecosystem, also the sustainability issue, Now, we do not want an ecosystem to be the white elephant of the university. So, who are the caretaker of this ecosystem to ensure that this ecosystem will evolve and keep on producing students who are competent? Yeah, and in our case, we have several competence center. One of it is Intelligent Data Analytic Competence Center, which has been tasked to look into the enhancement of ecosystem, because we need the student to be having the knowledge, the contemporary knowledge of big data analytics. So it is at par with what the industry are looking for. Yeah, and now, this concern, having this concern, we did a little bit of literature review, and we look into. We look into several architecture. But before that, let me show what we are teaching our students. We are teaching our students to enrich their learning experience. We are teaching them with Hadoop, Cloudera for data technology, and also we have all these big names, Python, SAS, and actually this is what we are teaching. But now the question is this enough? Yeah, is this enough? Meaning that what happens if there is another software coming up? What happens if there are any applications? Are we ready? Are we dynamic enough to change? Or are we changing our syllabus based on what is there in the market? Okay, so these are some of our concern now. Yeah, some of our concern, and this is what I would like to bring to the attention of the participants to look into: are we going to teach big data analytics using tools, or are we going to teach big data analytics with the basic knowledge? Tools come much later, when the student can choose that which tool is much more appropriate for their jobs. Yeah. Okay. To understand that, let's look into the architecture of big data analytics. We will show you two architecture of big data analytics. One is from Sagi and Shushma in 2019. Yeah, if you read into this big data analytics, it started with data generation, data acquisition, data storage. Look into the data analytics, the listing of all the tools there, but they have put data analytics into three phases. That is the real-time analytics, the map-reduced analytics, and also the BI analytics. Then come the visualization and the value creation. I think this is not new to all those who are in the area of big data analytics. Basically, all the layers here are the layers that we have been teaching our students. Yeah. Now, if we look into the second framework, big data framework from Azlina Muhammad et al. In year 2021, we read it from the bottom up. Now, data comes in from various data sources, come into the platform, where the platform will be supported by technology. Again, there you'll see some of the technology that is listed there. But let's look into the data analytics. In the data analytics, it divides the taxonomy into descriptive, predictive, prescriptive, and storytelling. But it is tied up with, again, the tools and the technology. Later, once we understand the data analytics process, then it can support the decision making. Yeah. So these are the two architecture of big data analytics, and we will use this both of these architecture to further discuss on the on our sharing session today. Yeah. So now, having looked into the taxonomy of big data analytics, which we have descriptive analytics, we have diagnostic analytics, we have predictive analytics, and we have prescriptive analytics. Okay, what is the difference of here? This is what we are going to go and look into detail. Yeah, and when we go through the slides, let's see whether is this what we are teaching our students? Do they know that they are doing descriptive analytics? And do they see the process of descriptive analytics? Do they understand all these phases of data analytics? And we go for the first phase, the descriptive analytics. Now, descriptive analytics, I think everyone would agree with me. Thank you, Dr. Ahmad Zia from Statistics Department, one of my colleagues, and also Puan Aidawati of giving me the knowledge and also making me understand that what descriptive analytics is all about. And if we can say here, the simplest stage of analytics is descriptive analytics. What do we supposed to teach the student in descriptive analytics? We must be able to let the student know how are they going to gather the data and how are they going to interpret the data. And then once you have the data, you analyze, you are able to describe what has occurred from the data. And then we provide insight into the past. Why do these things happen? And then does the descriptive data signal that something is wrong or right? In this case, if we look into the action, we say that this is you are active respondent, meaning that you are active to look into the data and gather the data, and you are able to describe what has occurred. I think you can relate this when we have COVID-19. Everyone have the data, and we know that these are prescriptive analytics. Okay, now, and if we look into the second phase, which is diagnostic analytics, the difference between descriptive and diagnostic is that now in diagnostic analytics, we are answering some questions which begin with a why. Why do this happen? Why are the patterns like this from the descriptive analytics? And do we detect some anomalies, meaning that something outliers from the pattern? Okay, and why does this happen? So diagnostic analysis, I think, is always give an in-depth insight into a problem. And if we are going to put it into the context of business, this is the analytics which are supporting the information, or we get the information to support the business decision. And when we say about this, this is the current trend from descriptive to diagnostic, and then after that, it stops there. It doesn't go to the next phase. It doesn't go to the next phase. That makes us wonder, are our students able to look into the whole set of skills required by big data analytics talent? And just to show you, from descriptive analytics, it will lead us to some exploratory study, and from here, we can see that exploratory or the diagnostic will give us much more information than descriptive, which only give us some data, some information. Now let's go to the third stage, that is the predictive analytics. Now, in predictive analytics, what is happening is that we use all those descriptive and predictive variables from the past to analyze and identify the likelihood of unknown future. So here, meaning that we are looking forward, and some of the tools that we are using here are forecasting method and also predictive models. And we do also capture relationship between the variables in order for us to make a prediction. And some of the methods which normally are used here are data discoveries, data minings, and correlation. The most important thing is that predictive analytics must be able to show the future of the current trend, what will happen in the current trend. Okay, now this is a diagram that shows the flow from for the predictive models, we have some historical data, and then we go and apply some predictive algorithm, and it becomes a model. But this model is not complete if we did not test it with the new set of data. Yeah, and sometimes I think in certain areas, I think computing areas, we call this as the proof of concept. You've got a model, then you proof of concept, use a new data, then later you find that this will become a prediction. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's look into all these stages, from descriptive to diagnostic to predictive. Yeah. And if we look into the timeline, we started from data. Then we do some reporting analysis. This is information like what we say just now. From the analysis, we do some monitoring. This is the question like what is happening now. Yeah, to answer the question of what is happening now. Later, we go into predictive analytics to say that what is going to happen to the future. Okay, so these are the stages from descriptive to diagnostic to predictive. Now the last one here, but not least, we say that we are having this prescriptive analytics. Yeah, when we look into prescriptive analytics, if we are able to do this prescriptive analytics, this will give us the competitive advantage. Okay, because what happens is that it takes the data from the previous analysis, and then it helps to determine the best solution, and it give us some insight on what we should do. And this is the thing that we hope we must equip our graduates with the talent. Yeah, it's not only they are able to do to use descriptive analytics only or diagnostic, but they must be able also to do predictive and also prescriptive, because they are going to prescribe what should be done and what the solution should look like. Yeah. And I think this diagram shows about the flow between predictive into predictive analysis. Yeah. If you look into the predictive analysis, we are talking about what will happen, when will it happen, why will it happen. But then it moves on to how do we benefit from this prediction. Yeah, because when we make some decision, and later prescriptive analytics look into how will this decision impact everything else. This is very interesting, because we know that the decision that we will take will affect the other elements in a system. So that's why prescriptive analytics is very important. Yeah. Now, having I don't want to sound like I'm giving a class, yeah, on the statistic stages, yeah. Now, let me bring you back, yeah. Let me bring you back. Some literature do not agree to look into the capability of students based on the practitioner job profile, yeah. But what we are doing here is that we are looking into the role, the task, yeah, so that we can understand what are the basic knowledge needed for the job market, whether the students wants to become a data engineer, data scientist, or data analyst. And we know that for data engineer, normally this data engineer, one thing, the main task will be doing the ETL, extract, transform, load, yeah, process. And when you are looking into extracting, transforming, and loading process, definitely data engineers will work with a huge amount of data, and they look into the platform, because human cannot handle the big data alone. The technology will be able to support them. Yeah, and now to become a data engineer, because you need the technology, but you must be able to look into the data. Yeah, to look into the data, to have some intuition of the data. Now, mathematics and statistics, okay, together with software engineering is very important. Yeah, these are the basic skills that the student should have. Now, if we look into data analysts, now Data analysts will do the analysis and they will collect the data and segregate the data to get insights. And they understand the data set and do an extensive and in-depth analysis to determine the business and product-related strategies. So data analysts now, we say that must be competent in data communication and data visualization. Not only they know the numbers, the output through the math and statistical algorithm, they must be able to interpret, able to communicate what these numbers are all about and how do we get insight from these numbers. And let's look in the middle where we have data scientists. Now, data scientist has been the buzzword currently. Everyone want to be a data scientist. And I read one of the article, they says that as more publication appears for data science field has been made as a sexy profession. Everyone wants to be a data scientist. But now, before they can become a data scientist, let's understand what is a data scientist. The word scientist, I think, refers, as everyone knows, is that you get the data, you build, you maintain the data, you clean, you segregate for several needs. And also, now, not only that, you must be able to communicate, to visualize, to analyze. And data scientists cannot only rely on data which are static, but also data are dynamic, because of the changing context of the environment. Okay. Now, the next slide, which I'm going to share, is based on our experience for more than 10 years, trying very hard, to equip our graduates with the skill set. With the skill set needed for big data analytic talents. And we follow the skill set from the literature. We know that there are 8 skill sets, but we did a little bit of modification. For example, programming. All programming here, you become data analyst, you become data engineer, you become data scientist. You cannot run away from programming. Programming, what we meant by programming is the coding thing. Be it you are using Python, be it you are using C++, but you must be able to have the skill of programming. So those of you who are very interested to jump into the field of big data analytics, now do remember, learn programming languages. Now, when we say that learn programming language, it doesn't matter as long as you can understand the logic of programming. You can have the built-in modules, or you start from scratch. That one is very important. Now, secondly is that data visualization and data communication. If you look there, we find that data analysts and also data scientists are the 2 job prospects which requires, and this is very important for them, to be able to communicate the data. So just to highlight this, for those of you from computer science and also computer sciences, those of you from mathematical sciences, if you are not able to communicate, start to sharpen your skill in communication. Why? Because interpreting the data is very important, and how you communicate the data through visualization is also very important. Unless you want to become some data engineer which works with platform, it will be a little bit less. I give us 2 stars there. Rather than all those data analysts and data scientists, you must have a good skill of communication. Data intuition is that, sometimes when you look at data, you have a feeling that this data resembles something or are talking to you. So this data intuition, all 3, data analyst, data engineer, data scientist, you need this skill. We give a 2 star there because we know that this can be acquired as you go in the profession. The more you look into the data, the more it will speak up to you. So we say that it's important for all 3. Now let's look into statistic. Statistic, you want to become a data analyst, you want to become a data scientist, a solid background in statistics is required. Again here, that's why if you look into those who are embarking on data science, you see that all these job prospects require you to be able to look into some form of statistic, some form of knowledge in statistic. Data wrangling, if you recall just now, I mentioned something about ETL, extract, transform, loading, and I mentioned also this is for data engineers, which they deal with this quite extensively, also with data scientists, and that's why we say data wrangling. How do you extract the data? Which data has to extract? How do you massage the data? This is much more needed for data engineering and also data scientists. Machine learning, I think this is also a buzzword. Everyone wants to go into machine learning now. If you look, data scientists, if you want to go into the prospect of data scientists, it is very important for you to know machine learning. At least some of the algorithm, you must be aware that there are algorithms for machine learning for you to process the data for the readability of the machine. Software engineering also, if you look there, data analyst, you might not be required to have the knowledge, in-depth knowledge in software engineering, but you need at least to have some. Or else you cannot follow the logic of the data, because what we are talking here is that we are looking into big data analytics, where we need the help of computer to help process the data. Data engineer, okay, you are dealing with the platform, definitely software engineering will be a must for data engineer. Data scientists, though it do not focus on software engineering as much as data engineer, but it is still important and it requires a higher skill in software engineering if we look and if we compare with data analysts. Now the last one, I think this will create an uproar. We found that calculus and algebra, okay, these are, I think many of you might be saying, or some of the students will say that these are the killer subjects, but calculus and algebra is very important for you if you want to become a data analyst, whether we like it or not. But this is one of the core knowledge that you must be able to have. You must be able to know that the functions in calculus, and then you can look into the integration. All this really reflect on your data for you to get some insights. Maybe calculus and algebra is not that important, will have somehow not that important for data engineers, but we found that you must also have some basic knowledge of calculus and algebra before you can go and deal or manage the data. Data scientists, obviously, it is somewhat important for data scientists to have the knowledge in calculus and algebra. Okay. Now, the slide which we have just shown to you is based on our analysis of our students. As you know, in FSKM, UITM, we create all these data analytics track for our students. So from here, we look into the achievement of the students, and we come up with what are the knowledge required by the student. We are in the process of refining this knowledge, but nevertheless, I think it gives us some guidelines on how to prepare our big data talents for the country. Okay, now just to wrap up, these are the last two slides that I have. Just to give on the timeline of big data processing and technologies. If you look, I'm not a person which do not agree with technology, but I agree that we must use technology because of this IR 4.0 era, but somehow before we can use this technology, we must have the basic knowledge in data analytics, and we are able to choose wisely which data processing and data technology suits in our task when we are working. So that is the timeline of big data processing and technologies. And if you look towards the end, 2025, look into the digital universe data. meaning that now, we are not only talking about data which is only localized in one country, but it becomes a universe data. Yeah. Okay, this is the last slide. I think these are the future data analytics and trend for teaching and learning. We know that somehow, in our curriculum, in our teaching and learning, we must be able to impart the knowledge of adaptive AI system. As we know that artificial intelligence will be one of the force that are going to push data analytics forward. And also we are looking into metadata-driven data fabric. We look into data-centric AI, artificial intelligence also. And now, one thing is that we must inculcate to the students, the culture of always wanting to share data. This must be done. Although we know that very difficult, but the students must be inculcated with this culture. Now, and in the context, knowledge, the students must know in what context are they analyzing the data. Are they looking into the context of health? Are they looking into the context of business? So in this case, they must have this knowledge of contextual knowledge for them to be able to enrich the data, and also for them to be able to do a very insightful analytics. And again here, decision making. Okay, in making decision, the student must be exposed to how we are going to teach them to make decision, and it must be always be decision-centric data and analytics. And last not least, the enhancement of ecosystem must always be there. We cannot be using the same ecosystem which is 5 years ago. It must always be enhanced so that we know that the students are getting the contemporary or the current technology and knowledge. Okay, with that, I would like to thank all of you for listening to the keynote address. And once more, I would like to thank a few people who are together with me. That is the group from the Intelligent Data Analytics Competence Center, headed by Associate Professor Dr. Zia, and also Dr. Sofianita and Dr. Aidawati, and the rest of the members. And not forgetting, the recording is done by two of our staff. There is Puan Suzana and also Encik Yusof. That helps me to ensure that the recording or the sharing can be shared among all the participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Technologist Dr. Haryani Harun, for the interesting sharing about the importance of big data as well as data analytics. Next, I would like to invite our second speaker, Associate Professor Technologist Dr. Nur Afiza Mat Razali. She is the Independent Non-Executive Director, Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, MDEC Sdn Bhd, and is also a Senior Lecturer of Universiti Pertahanan Nasional Malaysia, UPNM. Before joining UPNM, Dr. Nur Afiza Mat Razali worked in the industry with 10 years of working experience in multiple international corporations, focusing on IT solution implementations, operation support, and project management involving stakeholders in Malaysia and also overseas. With regards to her expertise, technologist Dr. Nur Afiza was, among others, appointed as the External Advisor to National Security Strategy Centre, NESTRAC, from 1 November 2021. She is also one of the panels of experts for the Malaysian Board of Technologies, MBOT, and the expert panel reviewers for the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, mostly Grand Challenge Grant. Please welcome Dr. Nur Afiza.
Thank you for having me today. My name is Afiza.
Sorry, Doctor, we cannot hear you. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Boleh.
All right. So, my name is my name is Afiza. So I would like to address Professor Dr. Haji Abdul Samad bin Nawin, berbahagia Profesor, Rektor UiTM Cawangan Kelantan. Saya juga berasal daripada Kelantan ya. Okey, dan juga Profesor Dato' Teknologis Dr. Hajah Roziah Muhammad Janur, Vice Chancellor UiTM. Juga tadi Profesor Teknologis Dr. Haryani Harun, the Dean of Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Sciences, UiTM Shah Alam. And then the other fellow speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and a very good morning. So let me share my slide first. Okay. Okay, let me start, yeah? So I'm here today with a topic that been given to me, digital cities, the opportunities and also the challenges. So I will be talking from the perspective of the application based on the knowledge that we gain in the university. So I will talk about the industry and the policy. So how actually we can use the knowledge that we gain in the university to apply in the industry sectors. So thank you to the 4th Regional Academic Symposium on Science and Technology, ASST 2022, for having me today. Okay, so let me begin. So as per topic today, let us think a bit about what is a city. So city is actually, we have the most simple definition for a city, which is it is an inhabited place of a greater size, population, and importance compared to a town or a village, and essentially a large place with a lot of buildings and a lot of people. So buildings and population only does not make a city. So I would like to quote here from the Aristotle: a great city is not to be co-founded with a populous one. So what does this mean? Let's go ahead. So digital cities is one of Malaysia digital 9 focus actually. So let's talk about Malaysia digital. So I would like to bring you of the application that we can have with the knowledge that we learn in the realm of computer science. So Malaysia Digital is actually the foundations, the infrastructure, the ecosystem. Also, we from the university, the talent to make thriving digital cities. So what needs now are the catalysts that can further spark the digital city development and adoption so that we can move forward. So we drive the digital adoption among aspiring young entrepreneurs, companies, and the people. So in Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, also, or we also call it as MDEC, yeah? M and DEC, so MDEC. So we also support the local tech companies to become Malaysian champions, and we also can attract high value investment. Okay, let me make it smaller. So we also support local tech companies to become the Malaysian champions and successful international players to attract high value digital investment. And recently, MDEC, together with the Ministry of Communications and Multimedia, or also known as KCOM, launched the Malaysia Digital. So Malaysia Digital is a national strategic initiative by the government to encourage and attract companies, talent and investment while enabling Malaysian businesses and rakyat, people like us, to play a leading part in the global digital revolution and digital economy. So in Malaysia Digital, we have 3 main missions, which is number 1, to drive the digital adoption among entrepreneurs, companies, and people. and support local tech company to become Malaysian champions, and also to attract the high value digital investment. So Malaysia Digital is the engine that accelerates the growth of our ecosystem within 9 focus areas. So what are the focus? Okay, so this is the focus areas. Number 1 is the digital cities. So this is will be the focus that we are going to talk about today. And next one, we have the digital health, digital finance, digital trade, digital content, digital tourism, and Islamic digital economy. So when we look at the Malaysia digital investment strategy, what are the technology enablers? So the technology enablers are I think all of us are familiar with this topic. Yeah, we learned the artificial intelligence. So just now professors mentioned about the machine learning, deep learning, which is the technique under the artificial intelligence. And moving forward, we have also blockchain as the technology enablers. So we know a lot about how we can apply blockchain in the digital ecosystems. And of course, we need the cloud, the data center. So cloud and data center also, we have various platform that we can, relate to the cloud and data center. Of course, the storage will be in the cloud and data, but after that, we can do visualization using the data processed by the machine learning or the deep learning, and the visualization also something that we can look forward. And not to forget, when all goes digital, cybersecurity is always something that we must really, really pay attention. So cybersecurity also will be one of the focus areas as a technology enablers. And then, of course, we have the drone technologies. And when we are in the 4th industrial revolution, Internet of Things, the devices, the sensors will be one of the main components that might interact and providing us the data that we need. And next one, the technology enablers also will be the robotic and automation. And we know a lot of application of robotic and automation. And the last one, the 8th one, the virtual and augmented and extended reality. So this is how we visualize, yeah? Okay, so this is all the core are meant to provide the benefits to all of us, which is the people of Malaysia. And also to the investors, we need the investors to come to us and developing the ecosystems and also the business, of course. So we can see that a lot of applications here. So this is the focus that Asia is putting an effort. So how do we benefit from here is something that all of us, especially from the university ecosystem, need to think about too. So when we are talking about the city, building digital cities together, so what does that mean? Okay, so digital cities is one of the digital's 9 focus areas, which growth and driving a digital economy that benefits the people, the business, and the nation. Okay. And additionally, the development of the other focus areas within Malaysia Digital also will contribute towards the digital cities. Like we mentioned just now, digital finance, digital health, and the rest also the components of the digital city. So through its flexible and agile framework, Malaysia Digital can key cities in Malaysia, which has the effect of knowledge and highly skilled digital talents within the cities. So under Malaysia Digital, we are also seeking to implement programs to improve city community interaction through the digital services. So the provider is us, the talent within the education ecosystem as well. And Malaysia Digital also aims to drive the digital adoption and opportunities in digital economy via the Malaysia Digital Catalyst programs, or we call it Pemangkin, and other competitive offerings. So one of the Pemangkin we have announced is Di Rantau. I'll talk about Di Rantau. It just being launched yesterday in WCIT, which being held in Pulau Pinang. Okay, so moving to the next slide. So we need to rethink about. So in our cities, we have fundamental needs for us, especially Malaysia as a nation. We need to rethink the ways cities are perceived. So according to 3.5 billion people lives in cities today. So this number is expected to rise to about 5 billion by 2030. So it is estimated that 95% of urban expansion in the next decades will take place in the developing world, which is 70%. Yeah, here of urban growth is forecasted to happen in Asia and Africa in the next 30 years. So by 2050, 70% of the world population is predicted to be in the urban settlement. So essentially, the next few decades, we will see the explosion of people moving and living in cities, especially in Asia. But cities are not only limited to urban areas that we are looking at. So UITM, Machang can be one of the cities that connected high-speed internet connection. But the government need to put a certain effort. Actually, it's already been ongoing. So we look forward to how we can assist, especially using our knowledge, etc., research to help the government. All right. So let's see digital cities. What are the opportunities? So as we know, I mentioned just now, the connectivity will give advantage to all location. The services also will be one. Culture. The culture will be one of the opportunities. And we need also to think about the sustainability. So let's see about the incentive that we already have. So to ensure achievable and sustainable in a massive undertaking, we can foster progressive change for the cities to drive the development of the digital cities. So where right now, when we have the characteristic of connectivity, which we can provide the services, it can be a digital. So we want a unique, a good culture in the cities as well. And then we want it to be sustainability. So connectivity pertains to the digital infrastructure of the city. So from internet connectivity that I mentioned just now to how its network of the IoT-enabled sensors and how the sensors can speak to one another. And here we need a strong digital infrastructure that to ensure that its citizen can gain access to the information, to education, like what we are having right now, yeah, and digital services. Also what we are having right now, conference digital services that are connecting us all. I'm in Penang, some of you in Kelantan, Machang, and some of us in the Shah Alam, etc. And maybe some of us are, at the other part of this world. So we also need the fast and stable connectivity. This is the factor that can helping and also crucial, yeah, for business continuity and efficiency. Then what about services? So services refers to the access and availability of digital services that improve the livability and livelihoods of the citizens. So what do we need as a citizen? We need the finance. So we can have the digital finance, which is all of us are having right now, right? Everybody, I think, have, access to the digital banking. But we have a lot of issues lately. Maybe we can talk about that later. And then we also can have access the digital healthcare. So this is still new. We have a lot of issues still, but it's moving forward. And transportation. Our life is much more better right now. At least you have your Waze, you have your Google Maps, right? Inside your mobile phone. So we can actually can get all the services. Okay, sekejap ya. I don't know what's happening, so I need to move. So digital city, tadi juga kita we also talk about the culture, ya. Apart from the services, which is the finance, the healthcare, the transportation, the education, government services. All of us love the e-government services because it provides us more, convenience. For example, everything being so a digital city also, we like the part of the culture. Now we are doing this online, but I think deep inside our heart, we also hoping that one day we can have the physical, for example, today conferences, etc., so that we can have much more culture put inside the city. So culture also, we can have a digital culture of innovation and community. For this digital city must have the digital inclusions. So in the MTech also, we are striving, we are focusing, targeting to be in the digital inclusion, which will also includes those in the urban, of course, and also those who are not in the urban area, such as our beloved states, where UiTM have all the campuses. Okay, so we also need the innovation ecosystem, that essentially the ecosystem allows individuals and corporation to innovate and build the digital solutions that benefit society. So build digital solution that we can have in the digital city. So the digital city is somewhere that have those 4 characteristics, especially the connections. On top of that, services, connectivity, services, sustainability, etc. So let me touch on the sustainability just now. So sustainability is an important factor for a digital city. So we must address the sustainability issues, which is first, we need to focus on economy, which refers to a model of production and consumption predicated on sharing, reusing, repairing, as long as possible. And then what's next? We need to also focus on the emissions reductions, because sustainability will be the opportunity for the digital city, but we also have the gap there, which is we need to think about the emission and how to reduce so that we can maintain the characteristic of a city that we want to live in. City that strive towards reducing its carbon emission, especially with data and technology. Just imagine one day we have a lot of undersea cables coming to the Pantai Timur areas, so that we can have a lot of data centers, built in places. So we know the issues about climate change, etc., that because of the emissions. So we would like to address that issues as well. Pollution also need to be addressed, but this one must be done via policies, via digital tools and digital analytics. We need the data from the sensors, etc., and we need to pump the data to the processing places, such as on the computing platform, and then we need to have the talents from the education. Of course, all of us come from the education environment. Ecosystem. So we will know what to do. This relate with the keynotes that been given by the Dean of Professors tadi kan. Sorry. So you can see there is the kesinambungan or the relationship between what we are studying in the university, and now I'm bringing you to see the applications, the policies of the government, the issues that being addressed regionally and globally, so that we can think and move forward to give to the betterment of the delivery of the digital cities. So tadi Dean of our Faculty of Computer and Mathematical UiTM kan, Professor Dr. Haryani. So the knowledge that we learn in the classroom will be used in this scenario that I mentioned just now. So we have Cyberjaya. This is Cyberjaya. And we have Singapore. So why Cyberjaya and Singapore? So the application of digital are varied and endless. So we only need to look at our own backyard actually to see some successful examples. So the city of Cyberjaya fosters a strong innovation ecosystem by making the city a test bed for new innovations. So this includes that uses camera with AI, artificial intelligence, to reduce queues at traffic light junction, and then also smart parking solution and a cashless society project with the aim to make the city fully cashless. And example is Singapore, our neighbor, the smartest city in the world. This is according to IMT Smart City Index. So Singapore Smart Nation Initiative ensure that its citizens municipal issues receive location-specific environment alerts on air quality, temperature, and rainfall, as well as monitoring the smart meter energy, all through the use of smartphone application. So it's important to note that digital cities are not only about technology, but also the people, us as the part of the ecosystem. So the development of digital cities does not require the most advanced application of innovation, but we need the broadest one. So technologies also can certainly make a difference, but good city management, skilled public workers, and well-planned public realms with decision making that based on data can significantly improve the city. So when we talk about the big data, of course, we need the data scientists, or we need the data engineers, we need someone who can, get the optimum result using the technology, the tools, etc., so that we can improve a city. Improving a city meaning that we can live better. All of us, our happiness index is high. We have, good food on the tables. We can practice our culture, and we can, practice a lot of things that according to anybody needs. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I also would like to share the Malaysia Digital Driving Digital Cities that focus on the implementing initiatives to improve the city community interaction. So that there are 3 projects that being undertaken. First one is the Malaysia City Brain. This is an initiative with DBKL, Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur, and Alibaba Cloud Malaysia to improve traffic management in Kuala Lumpur. As you know, I think all of us have the experience, being in the traffic. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's bad in Kuala Lumpur. So this project was completed in 2019, and the project findings have been presented to the various stakeholders. And then we have the City Architecture for Tomorrow Challenge, or CASH initiative also. This is a global data-driven challenge in collaboration with Toyota Mobility Foundation and also the Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur to solve challenges and improve mobility for the citizens of Kuala Lumpur. So remember, when people are in the urban areas, we use the transportation, but with the pandemic COVID-19, everybody, feel more safer when we travel using our own car. So this create, more traffic congestion that we can actually address by using technology. Also, the third one, we have the ESG awareness, ESG awareness, this one is the program that being designed to raise awareness and understanding of sustainability issues across the digital economy in helping companies to commit to sustainable development goals to reduce climate impact with several like-minded partners. So climate impact, we feel, I think everybody can feel the effect of the climate impact. So all of us should be driven by the effort to minimize the effect. All right. So this is how, this is again, application of the data mining or data analytics that being introduced by our dean, the dean of the faculty just now, Prof. Dr. Haryani. And Prof. Dr. Haryani. So the input data. When we do study, and some of us, we are researchers, when we do the research, normally we want to think about the input data. So how do we get the data? So for the initiative that drive by the MDAC, for Malaysia City Brain, the data came from the DBKL. The data also came from Malaysia. And all the data model, right? So it must be placed in one place for us to do the data analytics or data mining. So it must be data driven in AI and also, facilitated by the AI, which is the deep learning or machine learning, to provide smart traffic platform. So one of the model that being followed are the Hangzhou City Brain in China. So we are using this, we are referencing this to this model. So this is how we come up with the Malaysia City Brain. So all the data being put on the Alibaba cloud, and then over there we run a few predicting using tools, etc. So that from there the outcome that managed to be obtained are the priority green wave, that close tracking of emergency vehicles for non-stop travel. So you just imagine when the traffic is jammed, etc. We have the ambulance, we have the police that need to get priority to reach the places that they need to reach. So this is how the technology can help them. Okay, so we also need, of course, the traffic signal optimization. So this is one of the project outcome as well. And we need to detect an event. This is become crucial in our world just right now. So event detection captures irregularities in traffic congestion, illegal parking, trespassing, jaywalking, etc. How we can detect? We can do the prediction using the data analytics. Again, I refer to the previous keynote just now. Let me bring you to the... So this is how the... And I would like to come back to the D-Rantau. So D-Rantau is especially is for establishing Malaysia as the preferred digital nomad hub in Asia. So D-Rantau is especially can actually come to Malaysia because Malaysia are going to provide the connectivity, the services, and we have the culture here, right? In Kelantan, we have a very good nasi kerabu, etc., that people can enjoy. And also we are supporting the sustainability. So anyone, for example, from the developed nation also, they can come here to us, to Malaysia, and working from here. So the Irantau, yeah, we already launched the launching was done by our minister from the KCOM yesterday. So Malaysia, we are looking forward to host a lot of employees from ASEAN especially, and from all of the world to come here. Okay, so let's move forward to the digital city challenges. So we talked just now about a lot of opportunities in Malaysia. We have the very good policies by the government to further help to improve the ecosystem. But what are the challenges? First is the sustainable development. So the second one, of course. So let me talk about the first. So now in Malaysia, and the world, sorry, this is about the world. So despite occupying just 3% of the Earth's lands, cities around the world account for and 75% of carbon emission. So this is those factors that we need to pay attention. And us as a researchers, there is a lot of things that we can do to help to improve this situation. So INAMDEC is currently raising awareness and understanding of the sustainability issues across the digital economy, and helping companies to take that important first step to commit to environment, social, and governance, or the ESG that I mentioned just now. So ESG is actually refers to a set of criteria used to measure an organization's performance in a range of areas such as carbon emission, contribution to society, and boardroom diversity. So we observe that businesses, especially SMEs, may find it difficult to translate and relate to the Sustainable Development Goals. So in MDEC, MDEC are committed to help to provide resources and actionable items that can be adopted by businesses to achieve the SDGs is sustainable. MDEC is currently working with several like-minded partners on solutions to address this, so which will include pledges to deliver concrete action to reduce climate impact. So we recently signed also an MOU with the United Nations Global Compact Network Malaysia and Brunei to further raise the awareness to build the capacity and increase the adoption of sustainability and climate action across the digital economy. So this also includes developing a climate action guide and toolkits for digital economy businesses to help them to take action to assess the carbon footprint. So we can see here, the gap is there. So this is the opportunity for all the researchers or those who have very matured solutions to solve this kind of issues, to be on board and work together with MDEC and also the nations to further improve. So the collaboration also seeks to explore as well as promoting freely accessible e-learning resources and etc. So let us see about the other challenges, which is the biggest, I think, at the moment, the cybersecurity. So we talk about the SDG, which is we should have the attitude to address the SDG, but also at the same time, the cybersecurity is something that we crucially need to put an effort. So as all of us know, when we talk about the cybersecurity, we talk about network and connectivity. So moving forward, we are progressing toward 5G that will provide better speeds. So of course we have the traditional issues, which is the hardware and software. And nowadays we also talk about the IoT, because with the connectivity, IoT will be placed everywhere. The sensors, the devices will be placed everywhere. And they will be, the IoT will be sending the data to somewhere for processing, for example, to the cloud, to the edge, or we call it also as the fog computing, right? So the smart city ataupun digital city, the digital city development is highly depending to the locality requirement for each city. So for Kuala Lumpur, we have and the needs of the community as well, and then consequently creating high challenges or even possible for any what we have before need to be further improved according to the environment I mentioned just now, so that so current available conventional cybersecurity standards and assessment framework. What are the challenges now? It is not do not directly address the security needs in the implementation of the digital city, or we call it also a smart city. Yeah. So just imagine when we have smart city, our house also will be very, very smart. You just imagine our refrigerator can talk to us via application, because the sensors there will be, sending the data to us and then tell us what to do with our fridge, right? So some of us, or the researchers, maybe we can come out with very, very good ideas to, like your refrigerator is telling you what kind of, cooking that you can do for the day, so that you can meet your diet requirement, for example, right? Connecting to the digital health that I mentioned in the previous slide. So, everything can be interconnecting, and it will be giving us better, it's supposed to be better life for us, all right? So wide usage of IoT devices in digital city create opportunities also to the malicious actors. That always malicious actor that would like to exploit the vulnerabilities in our IoT devices that will disrupt the public services for their financial gain, of course. And a lot of us, we see a lot of people are losing their money, etc. So this is one of the cybersecurity incidents that come out because of, the advancement of the technology, for example, in the scope of the digital city today. So it also can be the offensive instrument between nations in conflict. So we cannot take it easy, because, it actually can bring your nation from the prosperous, whatever that we have today, to the opposite situation. So we want to really take these factors into consideration. So the basic architecture for IoT technology. So today I would like to focus the cybersecurity from the layer, which is first the device layer, then the network layer. The device layer, as we know, sensors track the surrounding environments and perform smart traffic for smart lighting for street. And we can also put the parameters that can help us to reduce the energy waste. So at the same time, it improve your energy efficiency. So energy is one more factors. If we have time, we want to look into it carefully and understand. Again, it goes to the carbon reduction, etc., that we discussed previously. We have gateways, we have routers, we have specialized devices, and we have the connectivity of wireless network technologies like Wi-Fi. We also have cellular. So we want to move to the 5G cellular, and then we have also narrowband IoT. We have LoRa. We have Sigfox, Zigbee, Bluetooth, etc., etc. So this kind of knowledge we are teaching all of us, all the researchers, let's call it the digital. This can act as the communication interface to transmit the data generated by the IoT to the application layer. So in the application layer, we do the storage and processing. So the processing also mentioned in the previous keynote. This is a very, very huge and good topics. Also, I enjoy the big data analytics realm as well, because when we are talking about come in and the monitoring, we need the help of the analytics, learning, etc. So the interface to access the data IoT, all of the data in the system, we actually can see in the form of the web or mobile application in this layer. I think again with the layer, we can do visualization here, etc., etc. So we already talked about the challenges just now, but before that, we talked about the opportunities. So we can see a lot of. It's our job as a researchers. I just joined this, this fantastic education realm since 6 years ago, and then there are a lot of things actually that we can do. We the gap is everywhere. We like the idea of the digital city, but to make it a better ecosystem so that everybody can benefit from it. So for some of us who already have a matured research that already in the TRL 9, and maybe some of you already create a startup, or we have the spin-off companies, etc., etc. So how to move forward? So for the researchers, if the outcome from your research already being interpreted at the TRL 9 level, and you already have your startup, for example, what do we have? I would like to introduce some of the grants that we have, in 2020, this year and before. So for next year, the planning is still ongoing. So everything will be published on the MDEC website, and I would like to invite all of us to have a look. Normally it will be open, in the new year, but the communication will be done in the Facebook, in Instagram, in the LinkedIn, etc. So you would like to look into, what are the grants that MDEC will be providing. So in the past, we have the Global Technology Grant and the 4th IR Catalyst Grant. So the Going Global, as the name is awarded to the most competitive proposal that offers a value-added proposition, which is impactful, significant, and sustainable to the growth of Malaysian economy. So this also will support the local talent development, Malaysia ecosystem, which includes industry, society and community, and of course, universities and research, as well as leading to the economic spin-off. So from here, we would like to see, those with the effort. Of course, when you are doing the research, it's normally, cumulative actions for a period of times that you can translate and make it go global. So see the next slide. So this is how it looked like. So the local tech company, foreign tech company, system support. The tech focus area is the big data analytics, AI, etc., etc. So the tech focus areas will be updated according to the focus of our nation, Malaysia. Actually looking forward to support those who have, who can come out and say that, look, this is what we have, and we are very determined to go global with, with our output right now. So please keep in touch about that one. So the other one, the 4ICG, ataupun the Fourth Industrial Revolution related grant was designed to support the scaling up of Malaysian-based technology companies into also the global arena with the co-creation, problem-solving, innovation, development, and commercialization of disruptive or innovate products or services for the global markets in order to build Malaysian-based global icons. So I believe that, now the cities can be anywhere. Again, so as long as we have the connectivity, we have the devices that can, help us, we can make it to the global. So this is the experience in the past. So this is how it looked like in the past. But for the moving forward, I would like to invite all of you to stay tuned to the communications that, of course, in the social media as well. You can, have a session. Please and invite MDEC again, maybe invite me again, so we can further deliberate on, on what we have on the research ground, how we can make it to the next level. Sorry. So today we deliberated on the opportunities and we deliberated on the challenges. So here we find a lot of gaps that, interesting. I find it interesting for us to, to help us to move to the next level. So the gap is always there, and we can focus on providing a solution to solve the gap so that the optimum implementation. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation today. So again, if you have any questions, I can be reached. Also teach at the. So this is my email. So if you would like to see a few articles for reference and understanding, I have it under my Google Scholar. This is the latest update for 2021. So I have a few publications that apply the technique of data mining in national security domain. So cybersecurity is one of the So, the security, the cybersecurity actually put us to opposite side of what we are in need. So I also did a study, still ongoing actually, about the traffic flow. So about the security of the network, etc., IoT, cybersecurity, etc. So the publication can be found on the Google Scholars. So with that, I would like to conclude the presentation for today. Thank you for having me, and hope that we can person in near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hafiza. I would like to open for questions. Anyone would like to ask questions?
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Hafiza. We meet, virtually. Okay, I'm Marhainis. Hi.
For my
Communicated using WhatsApp. Okay. So hopefully later on we can meet face to face. Hopefully.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to ask
to visit.
yeah. Hopefully if you in Kota Baru, just give me a call. Maybe we can meet. Okay. So I
Absolutely.
just want to ask you, the challenges. We know that in Malaysia, what do you think? How successful the implementation of digital cities in Malaysia? Because we know that, the internet problems, the gap between the urban and rural area. So, I mean, in your opinion, how successful the implementation, or maybe your suggestion, maybe? Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Puan. Kan, I'm looking forward to be back in Kelantan. I always see you ITM dari jalan sahajalah kan. So looking forward to visit all of you. So yes, like you mentioned, urban areas like Kuala Lumpur, Klang Valley, compared to kalau saya refer kat Kelantan jangan marah ya. Saya pun orang Kelantan kan. Boleh lah kan. Okay.
Boleh,
So
boleh. That's why I'm asking this question.
memang ada gap. So what are contributing to the gap? So bila kita cakap pasal connectivity, actually we are referring kan kepada the cabling that we have yang that's supposed to connect Kelantan to the other part, of course in Malaysia and to the rest of the world. But that because before the pandemic COVID-19, internet we don't really rely on the bandwidth of the internet kan, for especially for conference like this. So for education as well. So in Kelantan, yes, we have the gap, but government, we have a policy. Maybe you are familiar with the term which is penjana ke saya rasa kan, saya lupa tiba-tiba. Satu dan
Yes,
dua
I heard
tu.
about it. Yes, I heard that.
Kan, penjana 1 dan 2. So it's actually kalau saya lupa dia tu tiba-tiba hilang pula the term. So we have yang 1 dan 2, the policies is actually to broader, maknanya to put the cables. Kalau dengan 5G, of course, the fiber optic cables from the urban areas to the rural areas. So that in Kelantan, when we have more cables, which means that dia macam when you have more pipes kan to that area, so the connectivity will be improved. So tak adalah kita macam tunggu lama, it's macam buffering. So I also experience this kind of problem when I'm back in my mother's house. So the gap is there, but we have a policy, we have the budget to improve the situation. And in MDEC also under Menteri Tan Sri Tomplena Haji Anwar Musa, which is the Minister of KCOM, Kementerian Komunikasi dan Multimedia, adalah menteri yang bertanggungjawab ya untuk to look after MDEC. And then dulu kita ada status MSC, ingat tak? 25 tahun lepas, Cyberjaya adalah MSC status punya places. But now, with Malaysia Digital, we don't have the place, the specific place that you can call it as the corridor multimedia dan dulu kita panggil. Now, Malaysia as a whole is the corridor, which means that we have an issue there, which is the gap like Puan Mahani cakap tadi, but that will be improved under the policy of government. The budget is already there. So moving to the next future, I hope it's very, very soon, we can have similar bandwidth, similar speed of internet, especially to the rural areas. So bila itu berlaku, remember just now I mentioned Malaysia Digital, we just launched the DE dagang tadi, the nomad tadi, which means that people who normally macam I used to live in Tokyo dulu, macam we can work from home now kan. So for example, you work for a company in Japan, but Japan, Tokyo, kan, the house is like how's the house, etc., etc. So I want a culture, I want a Kelantan culture. I can actually work nomadly, which is working from home, from the tempat-tempat di Kelantan, which is now kita panggil rural kan. So with the digital cities, with the the characteristic that we are going to improve in the digital cities, hopefully the gap the gap will be smaller, and we don't have, and finally one day inshallah we can close the gap and sama sahaja di mana-mana. But Kelantan, of course, you have better culture. Sorry, tempat lain lah, kita promote sikit hari ni. Alright, I hope that answer your question.
Yes, thank you, Dada.
Okay, so any other questions from the audience? Okay, Doctor, I personally very interested in this topic, especially from the environmental point of view. And I think digital cities is certainly better for humans, present and also future for us and also for our next generations. And one of the biggest advantage that I can see with the digital cities is we can reduce the greenhouse gas emission from the transportation sector. But what do you think about the usage of the electricity and also the heat production? Do you think is it still possible for us to make it sustainable?
Electricity, the energy. So energy is one more issue that we need to address now on. So in perspective of the, the application of the ICT, and so in terms of investment, we're looking that Malaysia can be hosting a lot of data center, etc., which means, like you said, sorry, nama siapa tadi? Dekat
I know
kan? What I know. So the energy kan. So energy is one of the pillar lah under the national security. So this is actually if we can have the optimization. Tapi walaupun kita buat optimization, we require a lot of energies actually if we want to move forward and to bring our nations to the next level. So currently, Malaysian electricity, we are actually burning the I believe the arang batu kita panggil ada arang batu. So it's still not green actually. But if we can able to address the costing issues, for the renewable energy such as the solar, kan? But solar you need to install the solar panel. So the trade-off between when you install solar panel, there's a lot of new issues will arrive, kan? Will arise, which is kita tengok banyak bukit kena tarah dan sebagainya. So kita nak buat renewable energy, but kita tarah bukit, which is the soil cannot afford to hold the water anymore, so we can see a lot of banjir dan sebagainya. So that's why that is our role as academics kan. Dulu saya pun tak sure that I would like to be a researcher, but now during using our platform as the researchers, as the academics, we read a lot of theories kan. But if we can, further apply these theories and try to come out with a framework, for example, how to manage the greenhouse issues. So we have the electricity, tapi kita nak buat renewable energy, which is kita potong pokok dan sebagainya, and kita still bakar arang batu. But at least Malaysia, we are in a good, a good path because we have also the hydro. But again, hydro pun we macam yang dekatnya kita hydro yang dekat Kenyir tu kan, saya tak ingat dah lama dah. We still tarah dah bukit buat something. So we need the trade-off. So that's the role of us as the academicians. So we can come up with the framework and do the validation and do the calculation of the trade-off between the risk and also the opportunities. The solution for the problem. So dari situ we can decide this, for example, framework A by I know this is can provide the optimum result. But of course kalau kita seorang saja, maybe there are a lot of parameters yang kita tak terambil kira kan. Jadi we need more and more. So I would like to urge kita semua lah kan untuk work together so that we can provide the most optimum solution that can help on the greenhouse. Dia nak jawab pun dia macam banyak juga. Kita kena buat ni lah. Satu
kena spread awareness juga for the academician, for the researchers kan.
Betul. Especially for Kelantan kan, kita nak preserve whatever we have, I think we would love to preserve, because that's the good part of Macang, saya Pasir Putih, Kota Baru kan. We have that culture of life that we want to maintain. I think that's macam it feel good kan? It feel good.
And I think this is also global issues, not only happen in Malaysia kan, about the energy.
So our knowledge kita boleh share dengan the rest of the world. Hope that they can benefit from there.
Thank you, Dr. Any other questions from the audience? So maybe that's all. It looks like we've covered all the questions. Before we end our opening session, I would like to request our guests to switch on your camera for photo session. Your cooperation is highly appreciated. Okay. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, one more. Okay, 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay. Thank you again, Dr. Nafiza, for your very interesting topic today. Okay, now we will move to the Best Paper Award ceremony. Okay, first winner is from the Big Data track. So the winner is the paper title is Modeling and Forecasting Gold Price Return and its Volatility from Izzah Nazatul Nazihah Ijab, Nurunisa, Nur Hamiza, and Nur Huda Athira Abdullah. Congratulations. Okay, next is the Best Paper Award for Statistics track, and the winner is a hybrid fuzzy time series forecasting model with 4253 HD smoother. Paper is the authors are Nik Muhammad Farhan Hakim, Nik Badrul Alam, Nazirah Ramli, Adi Safianton Muhammad, Nur Izian Muhammad Adnan. Congratulations. Okay, next we have the winner for Computing Science and Information System. The winner is Development of e-travel mobile application using geofencing technique. The authors are Nur Idayu binti Yunus and Sherina Azli Mat Nasir. Okay, okay, next we have Best Paper Award for Mathematics track. The winner is Open and Distance Learning ODL platforms for mathematics subject based on students' perspective using fuzzy analytical hierarchy process FAHP. The authors are Muhammad Amirul, Noraini, Aliza Nurina, Nur Rabiatul Adawiyah, and Nur Aini binti Hasanuddin. Okay, so that's all. Congratulations again for the winner. The attendance link for opening session has been provided in the chat box. So I guess this is the end of our opening session. Thank you everyone again. For the next session, we will start at 12 p.m. and the link will be provided in the chat box based on your parallel session track. So that's all for this session. See you again in parallel session. Thank you. Bye-bye.